Are you thinking about getting more involved in your church? Or perhaps like me, you're feeling a nudge from God to take structured training in lay ministry. Today I'm reviewing the Basic Lay Ministries course, Connecting and Serving. I took this course in June 2026. I moved to Mount Dora, Florida, and am looking for ways to get involved with my community and my church. I also want to build a network of friends as I'm thinking ahead towards retirement in a few years. I spent a few weeks debating whether or not to take this course. I wasn't sure if it was right for me or not, and I was concerned that I might be getting into yet another rabbit hole that will just be a huge time investment for me. Overall, I'm very glad that I took the course, and I'd like to share a little bit with you about what the course is about, and I encourage you to take the course if it's something you're thinking about. This is the foundational course for lay servant ministries in the United Methodist Church. You need to take this basic course in order to take the advanced certifications. Let's talk about logistics. This is an online course that is presented via Blackboard through the website beadisciple.com. It costs $90 and it takes 2 weeks to do the course. My instructor was David Palmer. He is the conference director of Lay Servant Ministries in the Florida Conference. He is a certified lay minister and has a background in public safety, which brought a whole lot of practical experience to the course. He also modeled the behavior of a lay minister for us to see in action. You will need this book. This is the basic course for lay servant ministries. It's really inexpensive on Amazon. I recommend you buy the book a week or two before the course so that you get a chance to read through it and get comfortable with it before the course. Let's talk about what you will learn in this course. The course is split into 5 sessions, and the sessions match up with the way that the book is structured. You explore 3 categories during the course. So that's 5 sessions exploring 3 categories. The categories are leading, caring, and communicating. Session 1 covers the priesthood of all believers and the early Methodist history. Session 2 dives into servant leadership. Session 3 is about caring, contrasting acts of compassion with acts of justice. Session 4 focuses on communication skills, like active listening. Finally, Session 5, Into the World, looks at your role in the Great Commission. A big highlight for me was learning the Wesleyan aspects of grace: prevenient grace, justifying and sanctifying grace. If these terms sound like a barrier to entry, don't worry. The course breaks them down using the House of Grace metaphor. Alright, so let's talk about the time commitment. The official requirement is 10 hours of engagement. However, you should be prepared for more. On day 1 alone, I spent 4 hours between the 2-hour Zoom meeting, getting logged into Blackboard, getting familiar with all the assignments and the layout of the course, and setting up a schedule. To get your certificate of completion, you must complete 10 discussion board assignments, 20 responses to fellow students or classmates, 3 journal entries, and the 2 Zoom meetings. So that's quite a bit of commitment. It's worth it to spend the time doing these assignments because you do get a lot of value out of them, but it is a commitment that's more than 10 hours. My class was small with only 5 students, so the interactions felt very personal in the discussion board postings. You also have 2 required Zoom meetings. Mine was on the first Monday and the last Friday of the course. They're from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. They're not recorded, so you have to be at the Zoom meeting or make arrangements with the instructor. So here's one pro tip for Blackboard. If you've worked with Blackboard before, you'll know that the formatting can be a real challenge. It's hard to copy and paste from Blackboard into a Word document and keep the formatting. So what I have found is you can make a document in Word and copy it into Blackboard. That usually works. But if you want to move from Blackboard out, you want to copy somebody's posting from Blackboard or the course schedule, I found that if you copy it into Google Docs first, the formatting comes over reasonably well, and then you can export from Google Docs to something else. So in conclusion, I highly recommend this course. I give it a glowing review, 2 thumbs up. It emphasizes taking action, which I love about the Wesleyan approach. It's a great way to discover your spiritual gifts for service as well. If you're like me, I'm more of a doer than a talker, and I would love to be involved and participate in my church rather than just sitting in the pews and watching the worship service. So I think if you want to be involved, it's well worth the $90 that it costs and the 30-ish hours to invest. This will set you up as well for a lifetime of lay ministry. And even if you don't go further into lay ministry, it's still a really great course to learn about the Wesleyan approach and United Methodist Church emphasis. So it'll take me a few years to finish the complete lay servant ministry program, which will be right in time for me to retire, and that will give me enough time to be more involved in my church. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helps you. Bye now.